Hi, I'm Tina Ann Middleton, author of the Forestville series. I would like to welcome you to the writing journey, where we inspire and encourage each other in the craft of writing. Today we're going to talk about why we write. We'll be right back. In previous episodes, we've talked some about how-tos of writing. We've talked about what to write, different genres that we could write. Today, let's talk about why we write. Now, if you like today's episode, please check out the other episodes of The Writing Journey. Subscribe to the channel. Be sure to ring the bell so that you get future notifications. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and my Amazon author page. So why do we write? I heard one person say a writer has to write. We can't not write. There's something inside of us, a story that needs to be told. Have you ever seen how some people are just natural storytellers? And they can make up stories that sometimes you're sitting there and you're saying, wow, really? Other times you're sitting there going, yeah, right, that didn't happen. So we're storytellers. There's so many of us that are storytellers at heart. And we have a story that needs to be told. I like to read all kinds of books. But one of my favorites is Christian romantic suspense. And I have probably read hundreds of those books. I check them out from the library, I buy them for my e-reader, I buy them from yard sales, and then I have to promise my husband that when I finish the book I'll give it away because our books are taking over the house. But you get the idea. I love to read. And in reading all these books, I would see that often it was the girl who was in danger, or it was the guy, or it was the guy's sister or child. And being a dog lover, I thought of, what if it was the dog that was in danger? What if it was the dog that was a witness? And so the villain is trying to kill the dog. And that gave me the idea for a book. I didn't think I could write. I was one of those that thought only elite few can actually write these kinds of things. And I happened to be an acquaintance with Lenore Worth, who writes Christian romantic suspense. So I sent her my idea in Facebook. She shoots back to me, Tina, you should write it. And I was like, oh, well, yeah, right. Sure. So I played around with the idea. I even sat down and wrote a paragraph, hated it, put it aside. But the story wouldn't let go. And I kept thinking about it, and I would write some of it down, and no, I don't like that. My husband was the one, I don't know if he got tired of listening to me or what, but he said, just sit down and write an outline. Write some notes. And thus was born my first novel, Mistaken Target. And it took me long enough, but I finally sat down and wrote this story. Now, I'm not going to tell you if I stayed with my original premise. You'll have to read it for yourself and find out. Some people write because they have a message that needs to be shared. People write books to share the gospel with other people. Billy Graham wrote dozens of books sharing a message that was in his heart that he felt others needed to hear. Or I'd say hear. They needed to read it. They needed to know it. Some people write books to help other believers grow in their faith, or help them with Bible study. Help them with family relationships. Think James Dobson. So these are reasons that people will write. Sometimes somebody will write a book to reveal a truth that maybe people don't want to know, but they need to know. And so they'll write those books knowing that they may or may not be very well received. It doesn't matter. They feel this is a message I have, this is a message that I need to share. Now, yeah, there are those who write for less noble reasons. And even those of us who may write for these other reasons, the story that needs to be told, the message that needs to be shared, we might kind of hope for these things as well. Fame. I will admit, I would love to be a best-selling author. One of my co-workers, about a year and a half ago, he gave me a gift at Christmas time. It says, future best-selling author. I put that mug out there where I can see it. So yeah, fame. Of course, I've said it's not so much that I want to be famous. I just want to be a best-selling author. But yeah, I could see people recognizing my name. Can you? Not recognizing my name, can you see people recognizing yours? How about for money? Yeah. Again, I write because I have a story to tell. But let's face it, I publish so that people will buy the books. And I publish so that it will earn money. And I'm not expecting to become wealthy as a writer. I just want people to buy my books. But yeah, some people may do it because they'll look at it and they'll say, hey, that's pretty lucrative, If I write a new diet book, there you go. Diet book, just make something up. People will go for it. Everybody wants to buy a diet book. Not me. But we won't get into that. But yeah, for money. So there are probably more reasons than this why people want to write. I've just touched on very few of them. A story that needs to be told. A message that needs to be shared. Wanting to be famous. Wanting to be rich. Whatever your motivation for writing, though, keep writing. You have a great week.